Thank you. Chair now recognizes Ms. Tlaib from Michigan.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all so much for being here. I think as someone who's served in the State House, I know how important it is, no matter if there's a D or R next to any name of anybody that's in charge, to make sure we root out any sort of fraud, scams, because we know it hurts everyone. But as a Muslim American, I got to ask you all as a public servant, because, Representative Robbins, Hudson, Rhetoric, do you believe every Somali in Minnesota is engaged in fraud right now? Yes or no? You can start.
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Do you believe that Muslims are demons?
No.
No.
Absolutely not. That's a ridiculous thing to even say. I hope nobody says that.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's really important, as you all do the job that you need to do, to also root out hate and divisive language that put, you can't imagine a child listening to that. You know what I mean? And they're seeing that. And I'm telling you, as somebody that grew up Muslim in America, sometimes you're just listening to that and you feel othered. You feel like you're less than, that maybe the things that are being said are true. And so, Mr. Chair, I have to submit for the record, I know this is not your only source. I heard you. But, unnamed source in a viral Minnesota Somali fraud video is a right-wing lobbyist who called Muslim demons. But why this is more disturbing, and I don't know if any of you shared it, but I want you to know that who shared it, despite this, and all the falsehoods that my colleagues have already highlighted in a very, very shameful way, that this video has been shared widely and proudly by Attorney General Pam Bondi, by FBI Director Kash Patel, by Vice President J.D. Vance, who actually called the video, quote, far more useful journalism than any of our winners of the 2024 Pulitzer Prizes. The video creators, Nick Shirley, has built this career, right, but on a lot of Islamophobia and dehumanization, that I just feel as public servant, as you root out fraud, and you have to, that you don't make it out that it's about the Somali community. It's about maybe not having the checks and balances, and maybe, again, wanting to do that. But I urge you all, because this is the same person that also talked about the community I represent in the city of Dearborn. And again, there are children watching, and I say this, that racist rhetoric, no matter faith or ethnicity, against any of our neighbors is not going to prevent fraud. Doing this will not prevent fraud. We already saw Trump administration using this story to pretext of sending 2,000 federal agents to target and harass Somali American community. I mean, do you agree with that? Sending troops in?
I don't think ICE agents are troops, and ICE agents should be able to do their job anywhere in America.
I meant federal agents. You're right. I meant federal agents, ma'am. Do you believe federal agents should come in, and 2,000 federal agents should come into your state?
I think ICE agents should be doing their job anywhere in America. It's their jurisdiction, and if there are criminals,
that's the response of the president. So if
there are criminals who need to be deported, they should be deported.
But that's not what's going to happen. Representative Hudson?
I absolutely welcome immigration enforcement in the state of Minnesota.
Yeah, but do you think it's really immigration enforcement? Because they're racially profiling. They're going to just stop people that look Somali or look Muslim or ethnic and just harass them. And I'm telling you, as somebody that for the first time ever, my mother in 50 years being here, and the sweetest woman, she'd feed anybody. She doesn't care if you're a Republican, Democrat. She would make sure you're not hungry and fed. And she's carrying a passport for the first time in her life here, because she knows, because she wears a hijab, she might be stopped by an ICE agent. Is that the kind of militarization? I know you won't get stopped, but somebody like my mother and somebody like your Somali American neighbors in Minnesota will be stopped in a way that is dehumanizing. They do it in front of kids. They don't care. And I'm saying this to you and asking all of you, do your job, but don't allow your job and what you're doing to be utilized as a racist trope that all Somali Americans are criminals, that Muslims are demons. It's incredibly dangerous. And so, Representative Robbins, Hudson, one of the things that the collective punishment, right? I mean, the fact that now I'm seeing the Trump administration say, okay, we're going to cut child care and social services to California, Illinois, New York, Minnesota, Colorado. Is that really the answer? Is that going to prevent fraud? Do you believe cutting 23,000 kids from child care, do you think that's going to prevent fraud?
So my understanding, it's not being cut. If they can document that the actual children are there and that they have attendance records, they will get the funding. So this is a misnomer saying it's all going to be cut. It's not true.
We'll see. Representative Hudson?
I tend not to blame firemen for water damage when they put out a fire.
Okay.
And that's what's going on
So
here.
you're good with them cut, okay, how about you?
I believe in the due process of law. And so back to your comment about your dear mother, because she wears a hijab and she has to carry her passport. So I think that every person has value. Everyone is a child of God, right? And we may have a different name, but here's the thing, is that they all deserve respect.
Absolutely.
They all deserve kindness. They all deserve the process of law
Absolutely.
and due process.
And I'll
so
tell you,
that
I
is what
think-
we believe in.
And I see it among my community, it's a very diverse community. We're calling people on other, folks that are, no matter what their background is, because we don't want any criminal activity or fraud, because we know it hurts everybody. But I'm asking all of you, as you do this, your job, call out against the racist comments. Protect everyone in Minnesota, no matter their faith or ethnicity. So be careful in sharing these videos. I'm sorry, Chairman, this is important. Be careful as you do your job, not to allow people that you all are trying to root out fraud to be used as a ploy to go after Muslims and
And
Somali
ladies,
Americans.
time's expired. Thank you. Chair, before I recognize Mr. Cloud, Mr. Gill has a unanimous consent request.
Sure, yep, this is from the Minnesota Reformer, Somali American former investigator, why you're hearing about fraud in my community.
Without objection, so ordered. Chair now, do you have another one? Okay. Chair recognizes Mr. Cloud from Texas for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman, and I appreciate you holding this hearing. It's important, as you have mentioned at the outset, that we continue our work to uncover waste, fraud, and abuse, and especially in holding